Get this live going for us today. I know yesterday's live was a little bit had some heaviness, kind of associated. So hopefully today's is a little bit lighter in spirit, I'll say. Okay. Hopefully my dog does not try and bust in. I just gave her a treat, like to placate her. You know how it is. It's like, anyway. Maybe you don't know how it is. Maybe you don't have anybody interrupting you while you're trying to work. I'm trying to work here. Yes. Okay. I'm going to do a Celtic cross today for you guys, so I hope you enjoy that. And if you're new, please subscribe or like the video. It helps pass the messages around, and it helps spread, a little bit of positivity to the folks that need it. And remember, yes, self-love is definitely something we can all agree that what the world needs now. And don't confuse self-love with self-centered. Don't confuse self-love with narcissistic behaviors. It's a very different thing. So if you're confused about what that means, do some research. Okay. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube out there. There's a lot of books out there. And also I would recommend, if you are like gonna follow somebody on YouTube and you're like actually looking for good information, self-help information, I would stay away from like the random kind of podcasters or even other tarot readers or whatever. Like seek out somebody who's like been published, or like actually is a psychologist, or you know what I'm saying? Like, my hair looks so crazy big on this angle. Anyway, because you want the advice from the right people, right? And if it's something of that nature, sometimes you really need to, you know, um, get to the people who can give you the right tools that are going to action you into your journey to keep you growing and developing as a human and as a person. Okay, that's kind of what the self-love journey is about. It's like wanting you to keep on achieving your goals in life, right? The King of Wands, he has been popping out all over the place lately. So definitely some masculine energy. And of all the fire signs, well, here's Sagittarius, and we're getting ready for Sagittarius season. Are we not? So happy birthday, Sagittarians. Alexa, play some ocean sounds, please. Aries and Leo also in the King of Wands. So definitely check your chart. I do recommend that you check both your Vedic and Western placements. So the King of Wands is definitely a lighter energy, kind of somebody who, tries to have fun, fairly agreeable. The Sun card, woo, big Leo energy as well with the Sun. So it's kind of interesting that it comes in this position here as the Sun crossing the King of Wands. So it's like, if you are this King of Wands, are you putting your best foot forward? Are people seeing kind of the good sides of you, or are people seeing, kind of like things that aren't very desirable? I feel like that could be something here. It's more a matter of perception than reality, and sometimes it is our job to set the record straight. If you look at people in history who did not set the record straight, sometimes it didn't turn out very well for them. I'm not saying that could their outcomes necessarily have been changed, but when you allow other people to set the perception of you, don't be surprised, I guess. You know what I mean? If you get like kind of a cool reception or something like that. Four of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you kind of have been kind of not really moving on this. And it's kind of weird because the King of Wands is a king of action, okay? So, um, you know, it might be like, well, why should I have to do anything? Because shouldn't they just recognize that how awesome I am, you know? And that's kind of how the Sun card is, right? That's kind of that attitude. And that's okay, but like if you're not using your gifts, then how would anybody know, right? Um, if you look back at my previous live reading, that's part of it about making sure you're sharing your gifts. Four of Pentacles. Yeah. So saying goodbye to scarcity, not necessarily holding on to things. You know, like this, the Four of Pentacles is more of a lack mindset than an abundance mindset. And I feel like you're putting that in the past. Okay. So in that sense as well, that means, you know, sharing your abundance. And then once you do that, more abundance should come back to you, right? You know, kind of the law of attraction and reciprocity and all those things, okay? In the Crown, the Three of Wands, you could have some travel coming soon to you, or, you know, maybe just going out of town for the weekend. Maybe you have a work assignment, something of that nature, okay? What is coming ahead for this collective? Ooh. Chariot, Cancerian energy, bringing it on home. Home for the holidays. So maybe for some of you, this could be a traveling home for the holiday season. And when I say home, I mean someplace that you do not normally live all the time, right? Okay, and this could be one of those things too where like when you visit people, they could be like, you've changed or you're not the same, and you know, and that could be part of them recognizing how you are maybe a little bit different, or you are achieving things that you've been setting your mind to here with this King of Wands energy, okay? Six of Swords. Yeah, I feel like some of you have been isolating yourselves a little bit in these situations, just because maybe you're not sure of the direction. But with this travel crowning you, like, you know, especially like even with the Chariot card, it's, to me, that's like a home is where the heart is card. It's, you know, it's what you make of it that really, Temperance, Sagittarius. Happy birthday, Sagittarius. Patience in your environment, temperance in your environment, because yes, things are happening. King of Wands is a king of action, okay? And this Sun here, it's kind of like once you start showing people who you are, it's like it's your. Okay, you guys, sorry. Hopefully you didn't miss too much of the message. Anyway, so I don't know why it looks all like fuzzy. Is that because something weird? Okay. Anyway, so what I was saying is that once you start to understand kind of like the power that you have here and the actions that you're able to take, you're going to be kind of viewed as, you know, unstoppable. Like that chariot's going to be moving and it's like, whoa, it's very hard to slow down, right? And so that could be part of where people are saying like that you've changed, like things are different about you. And you could just have to like tell people like, well, maybe that's just something that you need to get used to because that's what I'm doing now. Right? Like they just have to get used to the idea. Okay? And once they do, you know, it'll be more normal. There's all sorts of things that have had to get used to, including, you know, like when we were all like shut down in our homes and like all had to wear masks, and like there were just certain things that we got used to doing, okay? And you know, sometimes that makes other people uncomfortable, right? Ace of Cups, you guys, wow. So I feel like part of the reason why you haven't been moving on this is because you're unsure whether or not the love is going to be there when you go. And the thing is that like the universe wants you to know that you're always supported and you always have that within you. Okay. And your gifts, right? Okay. Maybe part of your gift is being an awesome parent. Like I personally don't have children of my own, so I don't talk about kids on this channel a lot. But I do talk about purpose and I talk about individuals having purpose. But yes, your kids can be a major purpose in your life, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be a good parent, right? We need more good parents because look at how some people turn out, right? And then you kind of wonder, like, Jesus, where did you come from? Like, really? Were you raised in the barn or what? Out in the country, kind of like I did. Then people would be like, "Were you raised in the barn?" You'll say that when they don't close the door. Anyway, not everybody gets that joke. It's so weird, all the talk about AI and stuff. It's like, I don't know, man. I feel like people are getting worried about it. The Seven of Pentacles. Sorry, there's a dog walking by. The Seven of Pentacles in the Outcome Collective. So, yeah. I'm getting that song. 'Cause I'm dreaming of you tonight till tomorrow. I'll be holding you tight, and there's nowhere in this world I'd rather be. Right? And here in my room, dreaming about you and me. There's that Temperance again. So divine timing. So I feel like collective in this outcome, it's kind of like you're like, God, I've put so much work into this. And it's like you're beginning to wonder if it's one of those things where it's a sunk cost and where you might have to, like this Four of Pentacles, like stop holding on to whatever it was and maybe call it a loss and move forward, right? And the thing is, once you let go of wanting to control everything, right? That's when it's almost going to be like snowballing, It's kind of like today I had to make some phone calls and luckily I got to the right people, and then like this repair that I need, I'm not going to have to drive as far like to get it done, and it was just like all of a sudden it kind of, I still have to go and do this thing, but it's become a lot easier once I made my, once I started the action, right? Like sometimes we get so caught up in our heads about what the outcome is going to be, so we don't act. And then what can happen out of that, and it's like, well, why are you even worried about something that you haven't acted on, or maybe you're never going to act on it, right? Like, Kana, stop it, stop it, get over here. Nobody is bothering you. Nobody's bothering you. We haven't been for too many walks lately because it's been a little colder outside. That's really my like bad dog momming. Okay. Anyway. Oh my God. Where was my train of thought? Yeah. Maybe I'll do a part 2 video once I go back and watch, unless I get it back here. Okay. Three of Pentacles with the King of Wands. Oh, what else do I got? It's that song, Chains. Chains, my baby's got me wrapped up in chains. Ain't the kind that you can see. I'm so sorry. She's just apparently inconsolable because I'm. Yeah, stop it. She's a big dog, so she has a big bark. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things. The Six of Wands. Yeah, tapping into celebrating yourself, tapping into your gifts, and how you can grow. They underestimated you. God damn it. I mean, wow. I really don't like these type of messages because they feel like so low energy, but it's kind of like somebody has to tell you, I guess it's me. Good job. If nobody told you today, good flippin' job. Okay? Shoot. That's kind of what it's like. It's do you almost see it's like there's almost like a look of confusion on her face as she's walking into town like well, now it's the mailman. No wonder she was going crazy. So it's almost like, she's like, what? This is for me? Like, I thought I was just doing what I was supposed to do. And yeah, you are doing what you're supposed to do, but there's no reason, but you can still be celebrated. Okay. And there's going to be people that appreciate what you do for them. Okay. And I hate to bring this up. I don't know why it's coming up, but it's like, people that take care of elderly people, in their homes. And, sometimes they don't have any family or the family's too busy to take care of them. Like, those people are appreciated in a way that, maybe their family doesn't understand, So it doesn't, so to that point, it doesn't always have to be coming from necessarily like people it could be coming from a different type of community. And when I say that, I mean, like maybe people outside of your town. Maybe there's an online community. Maybe, through education, you can like meet different people and things like that. It's just something kind of like that, okay? All right, the Hermit here with the Four of Swords. I feel like, collective, maybe you have been keeping to yourself a little bit. And again, like I said, hiding the gifts that you have. All right, but the time is now, Spirit's saying, is trying to nudge you to kind of step outside of your comfort zone. And that could be part of what this travel is about as well. So maybe that's like, okay, well, maybe you need to seek out new opportunities. Maybe you need to seek out, yeah. So what is this Four of Pentacles? Can you tell us more what the collective needs to know about it? Two of Wands. So yeah, you're gonna have to decide if you're gonna like hang on to this old stuff, and especially this has been coming through too, like as we move into 2024, right? Like, are you gonna hang on to the stuff that maybe like is weighing you down, okay? And I mean weighing you down in terms of maybe blocked communication, weighing you down in terms of like maybe no zest for the relationship. Like I just ran into somebody who just said they took a break from their 5-year career as a financial advisor, and they were burnt out. So he had lost that passion for wanting to work with clients. Did I already say communication? It's those kind of things where it's like, then you're really gonna have to start thinking about, well, what is to me, and it's okay to like take a little bit of time to take a pause to think about that. And that's kind of, I feel like, what you've been doing here with the Four of Swords. So whatever you've been kind of like coming up with, collective, like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm just here, like, I'm intuitive, but I'm reading the cards as well. Okay. um and what's making sense to me right now is that kind of like you've been sitting on opportunity. Okay. Even like that guy, like, you know, it was literally his first day of Ubering. I was like I was like one of his first clients ever. And yeah. Which, I don't know, some of you guys that follow me know I Uber part-time, so I was talking shop with him a little bit. Scorpio death card. I feel like once you take this trip, whatever this visit is gonna be, it's definitely gonna change how you view things. This could be like that, you know, maybe you've been hanging on to certain relationships that you thought, you know, were going somewhere, and they just haven't. And maybe that's part of your decision to kind of drop some of that weight, you know? And sometimes when we travel and we separate ourselves from our immediate environments, we see more easily the things that we can like kind of survive without. Okay. But what you can't survive without, you've already been kind of meditating on, I feel like, here with the Hermit and the Four of Swords. Why Control? It's a song by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. Getting that channeled as well. You can't, I mean, you can, you know, everybody can control things to a certain extent, right? But like, things happen. Wow. 10 of Cups, things happen. Yeah. So once you start making these moves, I feel like what's going to happen is that you're going to get this kind of happy ending that you've been trying to manifest for yourself. Like, it's going to turn out for you. You know, once you kind of start stepping into your power more, right? So if you're like, it's not happening, well, maybe it kind of is like underneath the surface, you know? And like I said, when you get that momentum, then it's like, why control? Why put on the brakes now? Don't put on the brakes now. Like, it's not, we're approaching the, well, you might be approaching the intersection, but it's a green light, you know? You ever see that when people do that, when they freaking pump on them brakes when they're getting to a green light? So what are you doing, bro? I'm not like into racing or whatever, but you know what I mean? It just seems counterintuitive. And it's like, it's that fear response. Oh, somebody might hit me. Slow down, somebody might hit me. Right? It's that fear response. And if you watch my last reading, that's part about what it is. It's, you know, making sure you're operating out of a vibration of love, which is a higher frequency. Okay. Yeah. And see you get rewarded. So, kind of late in the day for me to be doing this reading. The Lovers, right into the arms of who? Interesting, it's the Six of Swords, and this is number 6. Gemini, everything in this reading is pointing towards you getting with somebody, not being apart from somebody. I don't know who. You know, obviously you could be this King of Wands. You could have Gemini in your chart. You could have Cancer in your chart. You could have Scorpio in your chart. Virgo as well. Okay. Sagittarius is here. Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces with the Ace of Cups. Okay. Sun card. Now clarifying this environment. What does the collective need to know? The Three of Swords. So part of this, why you have been in this like little hermit mode, is because you've been trying to, right? How can I mend a broken heart? And then it's like, why does the sun still shine? Why does the earth go round? It's like that feeling of wanting everything just to stop and shut down. That's what you've been healing from, and it's gonna take a little time, right? To mend a broken heart. So if some of you are not moving forward because you've been in heartbreak, yeah, it takes time. That's true. But if you stay there, you know, if you don't take those steps and start gaining that momentum, are you ever going to get to the happy ending that you desire? Okay. And I think that's part of why this Ace of Cups is coming out here in the hopes and fears, because it's that uncertainty. And I think that's also why the Seven of Pentacles has come out in the outcome, because it's like, is it like, or is this something I'm just going to have to scrap and start all over again? Because we all know how much that sucks, right? But if you don't scrap some things, how can you move forward? Here it is again, Ace of Pentacles. And that's, I feel like you're so solid here. And it's once you start actually moving, once you start actioning, you're going to see the results, okay? And again, for some of you, this may require, you know, yeah, maybe you've been in this hermit. Jeez, that Three of Wands wanted to flip out again. Page of Wands. This is your message. This is your message. You have to make the move. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Yeah, you need to decide here with very decisive action. The perception of the future of you, okay? And I am not trying to, I don't want anybody to think I'm making slight of serious neurodivergent issues, okay? But like if you are, because if you're struggling with things like that, you know, and you're like, I don't know if I'll ever be happy, I have this condition and it causes me to not be happy a lot. Well, there may be things that you can actually do to remedy that, right? That could be getting professional help. That could be, you know, just switching things up a little bit. I talked about being in a rut the other day, which happens to a lot of us. But, you know, the action, the movement is yours, right? Like nobody can Nobody can force you to do it. So, you know, it becomes between that point of it's like, am I just going through the motions or am I truly making actions for myself? Okay. So, maybe something to think about. B, community. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Your work blesses everything you touch. Celebrate. Holiday. Maybe you are going on a holiday, like 301 style. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're, you know, going to be part of a different community when you're on holiday. Maybe you're able to express yourself, you know, more freely around different people. And that's part of, you know, stepping out of our comfort zones, right? And then again, all of a sudden she's like, wait a second, this is for me? Like, why am I feeling so appreciated? Why am I feeling so awesome? Well, maybe people that actually think you're awesome. You know, I was thinking about that earlier. Is, you know, I don't even know if this is a real Freud quote, but like it was on the internet, you know, as a Sigmund Freud quote, like, before you think anything's wrong with yourself, make sure that you are, in fact, not surrounded by assholes. Puffin, partnership. Accept yourself. Yes. Accept yourself and your colorful personality. So again, being okay with your gifts and using them. And screw everybody who doesn't like it. You know, I was thinking the other day about this too, and because, you know, the title of the reading yesterday is like, you're a renegade. People see you as a renegade. Um, you know, like, love him or hate him now, like Elon Musk. Look at what he's done with his life. I mean, you know, was Elon worried about so and so that said it couldn't be done back 15, 20, 25 years ago, or, you know, some butthead that was picking on him one day? You know, and I wouldn't say that, you know, he put the Starlink in the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, he followed his vision. And in that way, he built his own community. Okay. So maybe for some of you, this partnership may be something, it's like, wow, I finally found somebody like minded or wants to be on my mission, you know? Accept yourself and your colorful personality. Feel confident about being you. You are a joy bringer. Yes, my last reading, it was about don't ever let them steal your joy and your, yeah. Let your community nourish and protect you. Ask for help. Teamwork will give you the best results. Yeah. So for some of you, I know you feel like you've been in this hermit mode. You're like, I'm doing it all myself, but really there's people that want to collaborate with you. Okay. And, you know, maybe it is like, you know, more few and far between, but like, do you really want like how the hiring managers are these days and have like hundreds, if not thousands of applications that they got to weed through? Or would you rather let the universe and spirit and, you know, your guides kind of do some of that hard work for you? And then they're going to place people in front of you, and then you have to decide. And that's part of this right here, this Two of Wands. Then you decide, What are you moving forward with? What are you, I mean, 2024, just around the corner. Penguin, authentic. Reach out to your tribe in times of need. Family gives you strength when you face the storm. Love your uniqueness. You are full of surprises. Break free from others' expectations. Just be yourself. Kind of looks very similar to these puffins, these birds. Maybe it's a bird theme, a flying theme at least today with the bees as well. The birds and the bees. That means there's the lovers, right? Lovers are in the air. And again, you have this 10 of Cups and the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. You know, healing is possible. It is possible to like say, oh, well, I learned, you know, maybe you've had like 3 significant relationships in your life, and maybe you've learned from each of those how you want your communication style to be going forward. You know, the swords are about communication. It's not just about pain. Everybody sees the 3 of Swords and it's like, oh, it's a heartbreak. Well, you know, I mean, if you've not suffered a heartbreak, do you truly know the power and value of love? Maybe. Dragon, supernatural. You are the ancient wise sage. And I do not say that for people to stay in toxic back and forth like types push-pull relationships, okay? I do not say that to endorse that, all right? Because abusive toxic cycles, you have to be the cycle breaker, okay? You are the ancient wise sage. You can shapeshift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. Okay. So with this message, I feel like what this is telling you is that, you know, you may not see it, but it's there. You may not feel like you have the wisdom, but you do. You may not think you can rise to the challenge, but you can, okay? And it's kind of like, you're like, well, who do you think I am, Superman? Well, maybe compared to somebody else you are, because maybe you're able to do things others can't. And again, if that's your gift, then you need to step into it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull some Moonology cards just because coming up after the weekend, we have a new moon. So it's a good time to make your manifestations. If you're new, please like or subscribe. It helps pass the messages around. Thank you to everyone who has newly subscribed. I saw a little bump in the numbers the other day. As always, you can drop a comment in the chat, which I do not see the chat comments after the live, so I think those just kind of like disappear. I've watched other lives where they had a chat replay, but I haven't seen that on mine, so I don't know where those comments really end up. So my apologies if I have not responded during a live chat to you. But feel free to drop a comment anyway. So what else does this collective need to know before we close this message out? Wow, we're already at 40 minutes. This has just flown by, you guys. So thank you for spending your time with me. Your commitment is being tested. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like, you know, I'm giving you this gift. What are you going to do with it? This is a test. It was the first Tuesday of the month yesterday, and they did the siren test. Do they do the siren tests in your area? For a tornado, take cover and all that sort of thing. The answers you need are coming. Gemini again. Gemini also about communication. Gemini also opposite of Sagittarius on the astrological wheel. So, you know, again, look at your chart, maybe things that you're stronger at than others. And it's like, man, maybe I just, you know, maybe with this Three of Swords here, you know, you're like, maybe I'm just not cut out to, you know, have good relationships with people in my environment because I suck at the communication and it all goes to pot, right? You know, if you look at your chart, maybe that's something where like, you know, your communication strengths are in a different position or something. You know, that's kind of things that where your chart can kind of like and be like, oh, well, that kind of makes sense, you know, or just on things in general that you might need to work on, okay? But again, that answers you need are coming. Don't let lack of action dictate the results you see. Because if you never take action, you're never going to see results. So you can't blame the action if you don't take it. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. Yeah. One more. Be bold and make the first move. So there's that action again. Sometimes it's hard for me as a reader because I'm interpreting these messages back to myself as well. Showing the world the real you. So yeah, collective, maybe there's just something, maybe you have a hidden talent, maybe you can ride a unicycle and juggle at the same time and you've just never told anybody. You know, and maybe you go and visit a village of circus freaks and get it all figured out. I don't know. You know? The point is that if you don't try anything, then you won't have that success either, okay? And it's almost like you may have felt overlooked by others, but don't overlook yourself, okay? I think that's going to be the end of this message for today. So thank you for the likes. Please subscribe before exiting. And until next time, manifest wisely. Bye-bye.